So when you're reading a comic, sometimes you're like, man, I want to explore the depths of humanity. I want to explore the human soul. Sometimes you're like, man, I just want to read some explosions, some high action, and maybe some boobs. We want to get in there and have some fun. It's Friday night. I want some popcorn. I don't want to think. I just want some explosions. So you know what? Picked up Lost Marvel Savage Tales. Savage Tales, man. This is going to be huge. Larry Hama, like, man, over the top 80s action. Yeah. Ugh. So growing up, a big marketing push I always heard was like, "Hey, this ain't your daddy's, whatever. This ain't your granddaddy's, whatever." I think I found Dad's comics. Yeah, let's go into this. This one's gonna be a different kind of review, but yeah. So yeah, this is Lost Marvels number 3 from Fantagraphics, but technically from Marvel. But this one was put out by Fantagraphics, and man, I will say this: any feelings with the books? The build of this is spectacular. Like they always do such a great job. Some weird choices like these end papers, but overall, like the build, I've become more and more impressed with Fantagraphics, and every time I get a book from them, just exquisite. Here's the thing: this cover fits. I like the art style. Like I like the treatment. But what's weird is like, look at this, and then so here's cover number 1. We'll get there, but like feeling slightly different there. So we got tables of contents. Breaks down each. There's 8 volume. There's 8 issues in here of Savage Tales. Great color. It's like, okay, cool. Introduction. Not a bad introduction. Like I actually fun to read. Then we get into the issue itself, and it might be me like this. I don't know, like Savage Tales. I was expecting like off the wall, crazy, like some '80s action. We kind of get that, especially we get that here. It's like, okay, all right, cool. Starts off Larry Hama, a little few words, cool. Starts off with the Nam, and this honestly is the highlight of this mag. I haven't read the omnibus yet. I own it, but I'm glad we got like more out of this. Introduction to these characters. First time I'm looking at like Michael Goldman at his height, and I can see why a lot of the Image dudes, especially like right here, loved him. But also like the heavy blacks in the foreground and like this lighter treatment back here is just exquisite. And it's like, I mean, you really feel the heat, you feel the movement, and I love like some of the paneling here is just amazing. The action. And like I said, the weight, it's interesting having these heavy blacks and then having like the action impact having no just hold lines with no blacks really makes them feel lighter. And this story's nuts. Basically, they're pinned down between 2 areas. They fire an RPG, but it doesn't go. It gets stuck in the grass, so it doesn't go off. This dude just gets up, sacrifices his body to to launch it or to activate it, so they can get out. And it's only a few pages, but man, it's like wow. I'm like wow. Then we get like Sky Warriors. In this one, like the art's not bad. What's weird is this is a post-apocalyptic, but you don't know it, especially because they're going off against the Soviets, but they're all using like these antique planes. For the longest time, I thought this was like South America or like guerrillas fighting like their country, like their government got taken over. Like I didn't realize it was the Reds because they get like a jet, and this is an ongoing series. It's not just a one and done. This one's not bad. Like this one was pretty entertaining, and I love like this paneling. Like I don't know, a lot of the art I could kind of take or leave in this, but oh, and this was and I'll show it with the next one. But yeah, it's like it's just like not a bad story, but as it goes on, it's kind of eh. This was weird too. Like they kind of drop out doing these. Like you get this in this first one. No credits. Like yeah, they gave in the issues. You can flip back, but it's a little minor thing. But it's like even I feel like Fantagraphics like give it this down here. And then this is where so you know how like I don't know about y'all. Growing up, I kept hearing the words like this ain't your daddy's blah blah blah. This ain't your granddad's blah blah blah. I think I found Dad's comics because this takes place in World War II, and it's like they're not bad stories, but they're slow. Like for Savage, you're expecting kind of off the wall action, and they're just kind of, eh. Like in this one, this actually wasn't. This one was an interesting story. It was kind of weird. Basically, like this guy, his brother was killed by a Nazi. Said Nazi then joined the military, saved his life. Then he killed him. Like it was kind of just convoluted. Now this, okay, Blood. This is one of the best ones, and I will tell you why. Going out for a pizza, and it's like you can clearly tell this is post-apocalyptic, crazy characters, great cartooning, and just it just had a different feel. And it's like literally it's this dude complaining about having to go get a pizza and just like bullshit like grabbing a dog and flinging it. You got all these kids like and it takes place like in a post-apocalyptic LA. These kids are like about to take him out. What like this page alone had me howling. It's like, oh, this is great. And this character's name is Blood. And yeah, like zombies come out and kind of get like, nuclear kind of waste zombies. And it's like, oh my gosh, he's kind of dead. And this was just, I'm tired of being pushed. Like, great zoom in. Like, oh man, around, fun moment. And it kind of ends on a goofy minute. I'm like, okay, okay. Then yeah, this one, Across the Rio Grande, like, a lot of these just felt slow. And like, it literally felt like a western my grandpa would have loved. Like it's got some action, but like a lot of it's just like, eh. And what's crazy is they have all these pinups of like women in lingerie, guns, and it's like that's what they advertise, but that's not what they show. Also, no offense to this man, this feels like a knockoff for Zeta. Like I don't know, the pose and a lot of stuff. Yeah, like no pirate stories, no. But the thing about this is like this is they want to do more realistic action, and I kind of get it. So there's no fantasy elements, which is like cool, but also like this kind of fits it perfectly. Where it's like, yeah, we cover up the women and we show the tits, but there's not a lot there. Like there's not a lot of sensual, there's not a lot of sexualism. It's just kind of like old guys remembering better days, and that's what it feels like. Because even like this one, Raid, another one that's kind of slow and meandering, and like the art's like it's well rendered in detail, but I don't know. I don't really remember it. And it's like I don't want to just bash this because maybe this is someone's favorite, but it just feels also too like oh where were you? Some of the art for the covers comes from this story. Yeah, it was interesting finding those, and it's like I said, it's not bad, but it's kind of like this was one of the weak. It's like this is these just felt like the weakest, and it just got weaker and weaker as it went on. Same thing with this. Like okay, you got them. Any okay, the other I know I'm all over the place. So I own a bunch of Savage Swords of Conan, and this would be a great spot for B-roll Josh to show that. So it's like I was kind of comparing these to that, and they are lacking. This one, like again, it's not bad. It's the Sky Warriors with their planes, but it feels underwhelming. Like I almost feel like a different team with this process with this concept could do something better. And like great paneling, great moments, but overall it just feels kind of okay. Good old boys. This one, literally, it's moonshiners, like literally good old boys versus like the G men. It's okay, but it feels. You know what it is? It's bland. It's tapioca. Blood and guts though. This one I enjoy. Like water. This was a fun one. Them trying to trade this borin and its shenanigans happen. And man, this like little things like and I think it's the absurdity. It's like the over the top. And it's just like it's clearly someone having fun. And it's like, has everything aged well? No. It's everything perfect? No. But then you get stuff like this. Like I said, the Western ones just feel slow. And like and it might have been like maybe I've read too much manga. Like, I'm expecting speed, big action, and it's just like a lot of quiet moments. And yeah, this one was actually kind of interesting. It was basically a guy picks up a hitchhiker, and this guy gets like challenged to a race by this punk kid, and he drink like gets some liquid courage, gets some drinks, freaks out again, having a heart attack. Kid pushes him too far, and the guy like sets up the car to crash into it, like the old man's car to crash into and make it look like it was an accident. Not a bad story. And like I said again, the advertisement. This one was this one's wild because like knowing future Marvel, you can't show cigarettes. Clearly advertisement. Does this one have? And I think the Nam came out of this, which was the best thing. Letters. Um, but then it kind of never like the Nam comes back. I think like one more time, but I wish we and like I'm glad we got that omnibus. And like I said, what's weird is this feels like EC with less bite. And it's kind of weird because you get a lot of historical ones, which isn't bad, but it just feels I don't know, it just feels off. Sky Warriors again, more of these. And I think the problem is too when you got like when you're not the biggest favorite of a series and it kind of continues, like, what are you gonna do? Interesting paneling, especially when it happens here, like, ooh, let's just say a lot of violence happened there, but they kind of self edit. And like I said, like interesting, they do some interesting choices. But like, kind of look at this though. Hey, it's like you got an essay, unfortunately, like very unfortunately, got some violence there, talking, talking, talking. Got a little bit of combat, but it's also you don't get like a build of dread. You don't get like build of suspense. It's kind of like things happen and then drop off, but then it's like talking heads, talking heads, talking heads. Same thing with the good old boy. Like a little TNA kill the dog, but once again, talking heads. A little bit of action. This one actually had a little bit more action. It's just, I don't know. It's just like I didn't connect to the characters. Like, the good old boys. Blood and guts. I wish, like, I feel like this with a little bit of work could have had its own series, but I also feel like this story kind of, the first two are amazing. This one kind of, okay, but wait a minute. And I like this series, and I think this was a smart plan for like the third one, kind of to mix it up. But once again, it's like okay, some violence, a little. But once again, talking heads, talking heads, talking heads, talking heads. Great paneling here. I won't lie. That's just some great. That little bit of action, especially showing the different times, brilliant. But talking heads, 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 talking head. And like I said, and I'm not against like dramas but this is Savage Tale. It's kind of like okay, you promise one thing, delivering on another. This one was kind of weird. It was basically it's like women being used to like it was women kind of showing like the violence they've had to deal with in history and them combating it. It just feels kind of off, and it's like you're kind of reminded like it's dudes writing this. It's dudes writing from a woman's point of view, and it's like, yeah, this could have used like a woman, an actual woman on this. Um, this was my other problem. Love or hate him, a lot of these were written by Charles Dixon. Nothing against Chuck, but when it's literally the same guy on a lot of these, it's just kind of like I want something new. You got a Nazi trying to deliver this letter, thinking it's important like mail instructions, and it turns out to be like nothing. This one, oh man, this one wasn't bad. It was Native Americans versus the white man. Had some interesting ideas. It basically showed how like the Native Americans had nothing to lose, and they like kind of showed it to the white man. Like they fought more, but it like it wasn't bad. It just feels slow. And I would even say like with this, yeah, it looks over the top. It looks big, but then when you kind of look at it, you're like, it's actually kind of conservative. Like that's a one piece outfit. Like it's not real Titsune. It's just always kind of this middling, like weird. I don't know. It just feels like this was made for my grandpa. The Nom, though, this was another great one. A simple, very kind of simple kind of story, but man, like the use of Zipatone, the action in this, and go. The other thing, and I think like the difference between the Nam, even like this one or this one, is the pacing. It's knowing when to pull out. It's knowing when to zoom in. It's knowing when to show like action and have like some of the art be the story. More Sky Warriors, like I said, like not bad choice. It's not terrible, but end of the day, it's like okay, I don't know. And it's like this might be your jam. This might be your cup of tea. I just found it kind of weird. Like so, this story, it's like this one kind of really reinforced. It's like a post-apocalyptic dude was like an athlete, it's now a priest, and it's basically him like saving people by using like his football skills, aka being able to carry people, get across the line. And it's like this is a very like I feel like if this was oh the Warren Mags, like it'd be a very average kind of story. This is one of the better ones, so it's like when it feels kind of like the Good Old Boys. This one actually was kind of interesting. It was a group like setting up another group, and part of me is like I'm not the biggest fan of the art, but like the storytelling, like this wasn't bad. It feels so slow. Blood and Guts. This one was interesting. It was they basically get charged like with uh caravanning a crew, and it's like I almost feel like this would have been a good setup for like a three-parter. Like nothing long or ridiculous, but kind of show us more. It almost went a little too quickly. Like it was a good setup, and then like the payoff happened too quickly. And I think yeah, there's like one more. This okay, this one was. I remember this one was kind of slow. And it's like I don't know. It's the westerns in here. They feel so by the numbers. Like they don't feel like they take chances or do anything unique. This Courage Under Fire. This one was painful. Oh, it was basically like this guy getting. They needed ammunition. It's like the British. Um, God, when does this take place? Like 1850s or something. It's about the Brits. It just feels like This one, this is why a lot of people I think remember the series. This was Obar's first, the guy who did The Crow, and I wanted more of this because it was very kind of like there's no wording, kind of experimental, and it's just showing this car like going as fast as it can, and then it shows like the dog, and it's the kind of thing like I almost get the idea like this could have been a vampire, this could have been the undead, like the dog doesn't seem hurt, but all of its flesh is gone. And it's just kind of a cool like let's show speed in a car. And then yeah, we're back to this where it's like, oh, another another older war story. This one was weird. You had Headhunter like basically it's the white man colonizing, but then it's the natives getting revenge, especially like the big twist is they cut out the guy's tongue, made him look like one of the natives, and then like they tried to sell it as headhunting. Like, yeah. So yeah, they're advertising Conan, but yeah, it's I don't know. I really wanted to like this, and I don't want to just dog on. I don't want to just be like this one like not it's not bad. Like this was a nice story. Basically, like they challenge this guy, and the Crusaders kind of being cowards, sending his men in and showing the courage of one. It's just like it's not bad. It just feels it feels safe. It feels safe and slow because, like, even like this, technically great paneling, but the moment doesn't like. There's no oomph. There's no impact. It's like, all right. This round, this one was kind of weird. It was this guy who like it was a bunch of bank robbers and this guy that like just despicable. And granted, like they don't set him up as like I'm not saying he's a hero, but like he's just like the worst. And it's kind of like it's basically like bank robbers getting their comeuppance. And it was okay, but it was just I don't know. Like at this point, I was just more like going through the motions. This is talking about. I don't know if this was like. I'm assuming it's based off of a real story. It could not be. Um, this was the ghettos in Austria, and it was talking about how like basically they bought guns instead of sitting tribute. Like I said, I believe I don't know if this was true or not. It seemed plausible. Yeah, I think it was more like I think my biggest problem was these were all written like because this one was this one Chuck. Actually, wait, let's take a quick look. Okay, not Chuck. Douglas Murray. Joe. Okay, I know this next one's Chuck. Charles Dixon. Charles Dixon. Like I said, and it's just like guy getting his mule, getting his calf. This one was bad. Oh, this one was bad, especially. And granted, it's an anthology, so like not all the art's going to be great, but woo, yeah, this one shows anyone can be an artist. Same with this one. It was kind of like it was a cop looking for like a drug deal. Like this one was like a hard boiled detective. It was honestly I read this like a few nights ago because I couldn't read this all in one setting. It's kind of forgettable, and I think that is the difference. Like you got these ones like these, and I think that's maybe some of the problem is this middle section. It's like you got all these like war comics that just feel eh. And like I said, like Blood and Guts. I'll even give like Sky Warriors. They did something different. And here's the other thing: like you show these pinups where it's like, give me this story. Yeah. Oh, this one though. Okay, this was the other thing, and I think this is a thing. If you're going to do an anthology, you need to do this once in a while. Hire the heavy hitters. Oh my gosh, if this book was more of this, I'd be singing his praises. Big John. I didn't realize it was Big John at first because I'm like, man. Because here's the thing: love his figure work, love his, but it's also his staging and his pacing, and it's easy to follow. So basically, this guy is hired to like kill out all these other ranchers and like take buy their property for the cheap. And just what I love is too, it's like, especially with a short anthology, you got 8 pages. Like, yeah, make the villains look like villains, and just great action sequences. And I think the difference here is too, it's just like the pacing. It's better rendered, and I mean like this, like oh thunder, that's no thunder. And like I have said 1,000 times, this paneling usually doesn't work. It works here because of this motion, because of jump. Like and you get the showdown, of course, and that one there I used for inspiration for one of my panels in my newest page. But yeah, I wish this was more Big John because like the paneling, the layouts, just and I think this was the other thing. When it's an action comic, give me like some quiet, like give me moments without words because this hit a lot harder. And yeah, you see all the cups and just like bam, bam, bam. But even just like that way, like that iconic like shadow gun, like we don't get these shots in a lot of these stories. This one was kind of it. You know what I'll say? This was cool because it was a boxer at least. It was something different. Basically, this guy is getting revenge in the ring. I don't want to spoil it, but like it was at least some, and I think that was the other thing. It's like a lot of these like okay, another war story, another, and I get it's a popular trend. Um, but yeah, it's kind of like change it up. This one was weird. So it's this this girl brings home her new boyfriend. She's like 14 if memory serves right. The guy's like 20. He's basically like you get the idea. He's like a Rockefeller druggie, just kills the family. Like you wouldn't think this is like one of the darkest stories here, but it is. And he goes on a killing spree, and it turns out like the daughter was in on it, and the uncle had to like put him down. But I mean, like, look at this. And was this good? Not really. I kind of wish we had more like this just because it was something different. And I think that was my main problem with a lot of these. It just kind of felt like the same stuff over and over again. Okay, this one was weird. Um, so if you've read, I don't know the issues, like Wolverine, written by Larry Hama, there's all of a sudden that like big guy and the little girl. I don't know if that's where this came from. Like this feels like Leon the Professional without being as good. Um, but yeah, there's like this little girl. It's like okay. And what's weird is I swear this guy's name is Bane. I read his dialogue like McBain from The Simpsons, but they're a duo of this like daughter father team of this giant guy and the little girl, and he always brings her. And it's like this wasn't great, but at the same time, it's like okay, they're at least doing something different. Like her literally tossing a grenade. Like it's just kind of so absurd. War and Peace. This was a long one too, because it was one of these. This one almost felt like it was a little too written, like for the serviceman. Like I never served. It just I don't know. It just missed the beat. And it's interesting because like literally like they take in prisoners of war. Guy shoots himself. Like it's just this one. Okay, this one was weird. I thought this was going to be like I was like, oh, wars. I'm like, okay, nuclear, like futuristic, post-apocalyptic. It's them doing war games, but no one told them they're doing war games. So it's like these Americans killing like a bunch of NATO allies, which, whoo, that didn't age well. And like well illustrated storytelling. Like this one gets confusing at times. Let me see if I can find like a good example. So I think there's a couple. This okay. This one I'll admit this was great. So one of his buddies dying, and they're talking about the past, and this was like a great way. And I almost need to double check. I got some photos of these. Like this was a great way to show the past, especially in black and white. Like I said, well done. I guess it wasn't this one. There was one that had maybe it was. There was one that had some very confusing layouts, but like this was actually I don't think it was this one because it's great layouts. And it's not bad. It's just like okay, we're kind of picking up Dead is Dutch. This one's kind of another weird one. It's basically like this kid working for the mob, and it's like the like this felt like an episode of The Simpsons just with more violence. And it's like it's not once again it's not bad. It's just kind of like okay. This one, this one was kind of weird because it was Japanese versus Korean, and it's like it should be interesting, but it just feels it's like every bad stereotype. But I think the main problem is it's like there's not enough time, especially like in an anthology. This almost feels like it should have been like 3 times as long to get us invested, and we don't have that kind of time. This one was painful. This one was way like I don't know. This one lost me. It just kind of it was talking about like basically like working on a navy ship, and I don't know. Like I said, just something about it's like which one's this? Is this yeah, this is the dude and the kid again. Like I don't think I forget it was Bane and I forget her name, like Nikki or something. And it's like this feels very, you know what it is? This feels like Outlaw Comics without the over aggressive, like without the over the top violence. And it's like, yeah. Another weird one, like talking about the French Legionnaires in the past fighting the Mexican army. And it's just like it's a bad western. This one was a kid learning like to become a like he was the second born, so he had to become a knight, and then it's like him extorting. I don't know. It's like the art. It's just everything about it's like, eh. This one was interesting. It was tanks like I believe it. Yeah, it was German tanks and like versus a French girl. Like, and here's the thing. It's like it's not bad, but like it's just the paneling and layout. I don't know. Like I said, it's just so by the numbers. I'm like, okay. Again, I feel like that's how it was reading this. It's like, okay. And like even here, I'm like, give me this story. This looks cool. But I got this. Oh man. And it's like I didn't want to go through and like rip each one of these apart. It isn't my goal, but it's more, you know what, it's my channel, it's my honest opinion. And it's like I kind of want this one actually this one was surprising. This one was a good twist. You would think I wouldn't say so. Two guys like bank rob. They go find like a place to stay out the night, hooks up. Turns out they're actually back in the town they just robbed, and her the young lady he was with was that her father was a sheriff. This one was another one like a little too technical, like a little too. I don't know. It felt very much like someone who you know what it felt like? Someone who's been through combat telling the story about their achievements back there, but it's like with none of the storytelling flair. It's like once again, it's not bad. It's just like like it felt like a lot of okay. And this one again, the dude Bane and the little kid, and kind of the over the top violence. And like I said, it's not bad. You know what it is too? This feels like it should have been a Judge Dredd story, but with like without the like it needs a little bit more oomph. This one's talking about how they leave their wounded behind because it's quicker, and of course, twist of fate. He carries a dead body instead of carrying the commander because he's basically like, "Oh, someone will come and get you." He wanted to make sure his friend got buried. Very sweet notion, just kind of like, okay. Um, another another robbery one, and this one's kind of weird because it's like they stop what they think's a cop and turns out to be like a serial killer. And like I said, this should be like a big impactful moment, but just the way it's written and stuff, it just feels like, it's like, oh man, that sucks. This one, this one was a little better, but still kind of weird. It's basically Appalachian Mountains versus the Italian mob in Moonshiner. It's like they're having a feud with each other, and it's like it's not bad. It's just this one. I almost feel like it could have been a three, like maybe even like a two-parter. Like it just needed some more. Oh, and by the way, Wadam, I don't know if that like of all the things to use for the end pages, I'm like, okay. And maybe they couldn't use like the NAM. Maybe they have certain rules, but then it ends on this story of this guy fighting wolves. He then one bullet left shoots this guy who's fighting his dogs, and the woman turns sour. Like, let me. Oh my gosh, I gotta read this. When a woman goes sour, nothing will keep her from hating you, not even saving her life. I see the hate in her, hiding behind her fear. I know she'll try to kill me. It happened sooner than I guessed. The dogs are back under my command. Fort Yukon is 3 weeks away. Some fool there will be happy to take her off my hands. She'll keep me warm until then. Granted, made in the 80s. I know it didn't age well. Like that did not age. It's kind of a shame. It's like that's what we ended on. Preview for the net, and I mean, like look at this. It's like man, like I'm grateful for this because we got the NAM. They then do like a quick like overview of all the creators, like a biography, which I think is a well done and like I said, it's a well done series, like made book. It's just like I said, like even like Blood and Guts, which I enjoyed, it didn't feel like it went anywhere. But a lot of these stories just felt slow. like I think this is kind of a perfect page to show. Well rendered, well done, but just no cojones. And here's the thing. I've been saying all this. Okay, Josh, where's your proof? Where are you comparing this to? You can read my comic. It's free on my site, joshgreathouse.com. The first 16, uh, about the size of this book, actually. I think close to the same, like, page count. Working on 24 as we speak. But yeah, it's like, I've been enjoying anthologies more and more. But yeah, this one just kind of, I don't know, this one kind of missed the mark. So, I don't know, man. Lost Marvels number 3.